What's up, everyone? It is Bowser0897 with another episode of Rant Time. And in this episode of Rant Time, we are with our special guest, Sal, once more. And we are discussing basically the entire Star Wars franchise. So, we are here with Nick, who is the biggest Star Wars fan amongst
Hey, what
us
up?
all. Yes, he has seen every single Star Wars movie probably multiple times out
Yes.
of all of us. And we're here with Sal, who's less
Hey, what's
less of
up?
a fan. He's like below my level. So there's three tiers. We have there's a ladder of intelligence and love for this franchise. But before we start ripping into the prequels, talked about the trilogy and the sequels, I just wanted to start off with our history. So personally for me, man, oh my god, where do I even start? I am going to be honest with everyone. I did not know anything about Star Wars until I played Lego Star Wars the game. Honestly, for the GameCube. I'm just going to be straight with you guys. So, my first touch into Star Wars is when I got a GameCube and I got Lego Star Wars for the GameCube. It was the prequels. And I played it, I liked it. I never seen the movies at all. And I was like, alright, this is nice. And then I got was it the original trilogy that came on GameCube or Wii? I forgot which one it was. And I played through those. I liked it. And then after that, I believe, I was like, all right, let me watch the movie. So I saw the original trilogy, then the prequels, and I was like, okay, it caught on. I really enjoyed Star Wars, and that's where kind of that love for that series took off. And so I got the complete saga, the Lego game. I bought the movies on Blu-ray. It's just, I have my love for certain characters, and so I became an average Star Wars fan. I wouldn't say totally obsessed, but I really enjoyed watching Star Wars. So I guess I'll take this to Sal. So Sal, when did you start watching Star Wars? Like, when was your first take into this?
Well, it's not that long actually. I think it was like
Yeah,
a
he's
couple months
very
ago.
yeah, he's very recent. I believe you actually didn't even know about Star Wars much until you played Battlefront. Was it the
Yeah.
first Battlefront game published by EA? You started getting into Star
I
Wars?
think I think it was the second one.
The second one, really? I thought you played Battlefront 1.
Or no, yes, it was the first one.
Yeah.
This was on console.
Yeah, he bought Battlefront 1 for the console. I don't know, but I forgot who did. It was either you or me. But he was experiencing Star Wars for the first time, and he kind of fell in love with it. He hasn't seen any of the movies though at the time, but he wanted to, and I believe you eventually did, right?
Yeah, I got to see all the movies and Rogue One and
Yeah. So,
Solo with Nick. I got to see him with Nick.
so Nick,
It was your boy here that introduced them to him.
yeah. So Nick, when did you start? You're the biggest Star Wars fan out of all of us. You
For
know
as
more.
long as I can remember, my friend. My dad was a huge Star Wars fan. Even if I remember, he went and saw the first Star Wars movie, Star Wars: A New Hope, which is Episode 4,
Oh,
when it
wow,
came out in
that's a while
theaters.
back.
Damn.
I know my Nino did for sure, but I think my dad did as well.
Damn, dude, that's
And so because of them, I was into it like when I was first born, I guess you could say.
okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of brought upon you.
Mm-hmm.
So well, that's good. So we all have our history with the Star Wars films. So I guess let's do this by chronological order, as George Lucas would have wanted, apparently. So the prequels. I believe the Star Wars community is at a place where the prequels are hated and loved in some way. Wouldn't you say, Nick? It's kind of weird. Personally, I enjoyed the prequels a lot. I probably gonna get some flack and hate for this, but I honestly enjoyed the prequels more than the original trilogy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had a lot of fun with the prequels, and looking back at those movies, there's so many memorable characters and lines and events that just really just. I hate to say meme worthy, but honestly, if something's meme worthy, it doesn't have to be bad. You know, it was a lot of fun, man. I love the prequels. You know, Episode 3 by far one of the most favorite Star Wars movies personally. Like I love.
That's my personal favorite.
Yeah, Episode 3 is my favorite. Revenge of the Sith is. I love Revenge of the Sith a lot. I believe people don't like the movies because of plot. Is that correct, Nick?
It's because, like, you know, people have, like, bad acting, and, you know, it was, like, I guess part of it was because, like, it didn't, like, how do I explain it? People didn't think of the idealism that Lucas came out with.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was just something else that focused on, like, more on Han Solo and Luke and Leia and Chewbacca in them back then, but it went back farther than when they were actually, you know, focused on as an entire story. That's part of the reason why people disliked it. And going out of that story-wise, yeah, people hated the acting in some of the characters. I'm not going to get into detail a whole lot because I like them, but, you know, that's the reason why they got so much backlash.
Interesting. Because I've always seen people talk about, we don't talk about the prequels. We don't talk about the prequels existing. But I was like, man, it's like some of my favorite, like, personally, I'm going to get this out the way. My favorite Star Wars character is General Grievous. When I first saw him in, was it Attack of the Clones he first appeared in?
No, it was Revenge of the Sith. Right? He appeared in the cartoon show that happened between the two movies.
Okay. Oh. Interesting. Okay, yeah. Well, General Grievous was my favorite one. My favorite character. I'm sorry for forgetting. But, Sal, what do you think? Like, do you think the prequels are that bad? Like...
Well, see, when I watched them, I mean, like, I thought, like, you know, the visuals were obviously amazing,
visuals are good. Especially
I have to say, I think the second movie where Count Dooku and Anakin were fighting.
Those are really nice fight.
No. I'd have to digress. I think the animation for that fighting scene was just absolutely terrible. Like, it was. I think Nick can explain. Like,
I mean, Count Dooku was doing the windmill thing above his head.
Like, the snapshots from like both
so
of them
funny.
was just so terrible. But I think like not just that, but like the plots of the story was just. There was a lot of things wrong with the prequels, but nothing can come to compare to the trash sequels we have now. So.
The love story between Anakin and Padme were kind of like, you know, awkward and.
Yeah, I was wondering, were they? Yeah, was the kid actually falling in love with some like grown woman or something?
Well, here's the thing: people think that. People think he's just like a minor or some crap. No. He was like 10 when he was a slave in The Phantom Menace. And this is 10 years later. He's 20. She was like 15 because they elected her when she was younger. Because that's what they did. Yeah, so she's like 25. It's a 5-year difference. It's not too bad. They're just younger adults.
Bad.
Shit, I mean, it's better than the shit that people do nowadays. Let's just be honest. Why don't you take a seat right there? But, going to the original trilogy, so... I'm going to be honest. Let's be honest. These movies are golden. They're, I believe these movies are honestly in the Library of Congress of movies. I've treasured, like, I believe Congress actually keeps a collection of movies that are, like, really monumental. Like, you know, that are just absolutely insanely good. And, like, A New Hope, man, it's... Whew. I mean, like I said, even though I love the prequels a lot, I have to give credit where credit's due. Like, it's what brought Star Wars to where it was. Like, let's just be honest. Like, the original trilogy is really nice. Really, some of the best storytelling, man. With the Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca. Just so many. It was such a great adventure. Some great actors. Like, Harrison Ford nailed that role out of the park. Like, and if I'm correct, was he doing Indiana Jones and Star Wars?
Yeah, he worked with I think wasn't it? I can't remember who filmed Indiana Jones. I
Was it
know him,
Steven
but I
Spielberg?
can't. Yeah, that's who. I think it was Steven Spielberg that filmed Indiana Jones. So, and he did music for Star Wars too. So he was
Yep.
able to work side by side with Lucas and Spielberg.
That's yeah. I'm pretty sure he's made his fair amount of money.
Oh yeah.
So Nick, what's your take on the original trilogy? Like, I know you say you love the prequels a lot, but like, when that's conflicting with the original trilogy, which everyone agrees that it's the best, where do you stand? As like, do you like put your differences aside, or like do you like how does that work for you? Someone who loves Star Wars entirely, but you like the prequels. People don't like the prequels, but they like the trilogy. You like the trilogy. Like, how does that work? I'm
Being a
curious.
big Star Wars fan, I like to study all of its aspects of different like stories and timelines and generations of the movies, right? And because I grew up with the prequels, I always liked them no matter what because I grew up with them.
Mm-hmm.
But and I also grew up with the original movies as well, the original trilogy. So growing up with those two, it was really good. I enjoyed them no matter what. It was only that when I got older that I see some of the faults in some of the movies, but no matter the faults and noticing them, that it still holds a place
Yeah,
in my
it
heart
holds
for
a
childhood.
yeah, and that
That's why
makes
I still like them.
and I agree with that. Growing up, I noticed the shit people talk about in both the original trilogy and the prequels, and you see why people talk down on those movies. But like at the end of the day, man, it's just childhood. It's so hard to hate some of these movies because like you know how much fun and the thrill and the chills you got seeing them for the first time. Like, what year did the Revenge of the Sith come out? I
2005.
Dude, so I was 6 years old at the time. So like, and then obviously I didn't see him when I was 6. Maybe I forgot what year I was. Maybe I want to say 13ish, 14ish. Seeing Anakin and Obi-Wan fight like two Jedis, like two good guys apparently supposed to be fighting each other, like, and then seeing Anakin like get his legs chopped off, him turning to Darth Vader, like, dude, that is a moment I can never forget. Like when his helmet slides on and he starts breathing for the first time, it's like, oh my god, that was. It just sends chills to you because like, but we could never get that again. And
And for me, that was like looking back at it, it was a more elaborate fight than it was in episode 4 because they also fought in 4.
yeah.
But it was like, for 1977 standards, like you couldn't like do massive maneuvers and crazy stunts and everything. But all the lightsaber duels in the original trilogy, they had meaning behind them. No
Oh
matter
yeah,
what.
yeah. They were,
And that's why
Now-
that's why they were good.
yeah, they weren't flashy like we have in the prequels. No, but they were spiritual in their story, and a lot of people like that. Now, personally, the reason why I like the prequels so much because I'm a sucker for that type of stuff. Like I love the personally, I love the fight with Count Dooku and Obi-Wan. Is it Quin Con? I'm sorry for botching this name. Is it Qui-Gon?
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 Thank you, Sal.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. But god damn it. I fucked up his name, man, so badly. But like I really love the lightsaber duels in the prequels so much. Like they're just so nice to watch, man. They're so satisfying. But I mean we've I'm pretty sure we all know where this is headed.
Yeah.
The uncharted territory. See. Let me start this off. So, I believe it was 2014 when this trailer came out. If I'm correct, the big trailer where Star Wars was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You saw. I mean, like the hype, man. The hype. You saw the stormtroopers, the Millennium Falcon. The story that was being set up, the New Order, and then you see Han Solo and Chewbacca at the end that just gets everyone ready. Like, it's like, there was hype. There was a lot of hype for The Force Awakens because, like, how many years has it been since a Star Wars movie? Because The Revenge of the Sith came out 2005, and then we didn't get a new one until 2015, I believe.
So yeah, 10 years after not getting a single movie.
Yeah.
But think, like, it's not as big as like 1983 to 1999. That's like 16 years. Well, yeah, that's about the same time. That's around the same time. So yeah, with all that, it was really hyped.
And the movie brought in a lot of money, but the problem is, see, myself, I saw the movie when it came out, and it's like this weird incline, like the hype and the trend and the love for that movie was just through the roof when it first came out. Like, people were calling this a masterpiece, but all the criticism was getting just flushed away from all the fanboys. And once time slowed down, then the dark stuff started coming out. People started criticizing the movie, and then it got out, and people started realizing I have some issues with the sequels. I hate to say this, but it just almost feel like it's like the movie's just too afraid to just do stuff. Like, I hate to say this term, but it just feels like everyone's acting like a pussy in that movie, dude. Like, honestly, like, I don't know how to say it. Like, so Kylo Ren.
I feel like it's somewhat dragged out. Like, I feel like they have the wrong type of characters for the wrong type of...
Going into Star Wars, man, when that trailer showing a new Sith with that tri lightsaber, was like, oh yes, this guy looks badass. I cannot wait to see his story.
Yeah, that's how it was too.
And I was like, dude, like, what's going on? Like I just, like, he's just not doing anything. And
He's
like,
too afraid. Yeah.
And then I was really looking forward to seeing the story of Finn, you know, stop being a stormtrooper, become a Jedi, and actually take on Kylo. I thought that'd been a really good, you know, climatic ending. You know, oh, you work for the New Order, you stop working for them, you're gonna take on Kylo Ren and beat him. But like, this bitch, I'm sorry, I can't call Rey that, but this bitch just like takes the spotlight out of nowhere. It just, I swear, it just feels like she took the spotlight out of nowhere from Finn. Like, it feels like the movie was focused on Finn throughout, and then Rey came out of nowhere and just took the spotlight. Like, literally, at the end of the movie, they're fighting. Finn just falls on his ass, and it's like, he's like, done. And Rey just comes and saves his day. I was like, come on, man. Like, what's the deal with that? But, and it's like, not even with the Star Wars duels. Like, if I'm correct, that movie only had one duel, right?
Yeah, between the two movies that are out so far, like, yeah, there was only one lightsaber on lightsaber duel.
Wait.
And that's why people... That's part of the reason why people hate it. Yeah, there was only one.
Wait. Between The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, there has only been one lightsaber on lightsaber.
Yeah, because in The Last Jedi, it was two lightsabers working together.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, Kylo did his thing, killed Snoke, and then fought off, like, his guards. Well, after that, he wanted her to turn to the dark side. That's the only reason why, because he wanted power, and he wanted her as, like, an apprentice.
Well then, so...
That's how the Sith work. They just betray everyone no matter what.
And, yeah, the thing with Snoke is, like, I wanted him to be more
Snoke
developed.
Out of nowhere.
I wanted him to grow, but he just died out of nowhere.
There's no context to him. Like... The story's not explained. Nothing is explained. It's just.
Oh my god!
It's just goofy.
Dude. I swear to God, like, The Last Jedi, though, man. Like, if I'm correct, a lot of people hate that movie, right? Like,
it was so bad.
Like, it's just.
It was so trash.
I just feel so bad because, like, I don't want to hate it. Like, I don't want to hate it, man. It's just, I don't know where that...
Once her face starts floating in space, like, what?
Oh yeah, Princess Leia survives a bombing strike. It gets sucked in space.
What is this trash?
And then launches herself back into the ship. Well, it's because like she was force sensitive. That's why she could do it.
And then the freaking...
I don't know, man. I don't know what was going on in that movie. It's just... It seemed like it was almost a comedy at one point. Seriously, like it felt like Star Wars: The Last Jedi was turning into some comedy show. Like they're always trying to crack jokes and be funny. It was like come on, man. Like
They're trying to. I mean, honestly, I think they're just trying to milk the series out as much as possible, man. I feel like what they're doing is not what the original creator had intended.
it's just
Yeah, I feel like Lucas would have gone like with a different approach.
Yeah.
If he didn't sell Lucasfilm to Disney, he probably would have maybe made 3 more movies himself, and they would have gone an entirely different direction. Maybe better. I don't know. I'm not one here to judge, but they would have been completely different than what we
Yeah,
have
they
now.
would
I
have
will
been
say that.
different than what we had.
don't get me wrong. The visuals and the art, the
That
worlds,
just comes with
yeah,
the year.
yeah, it's stunning.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. And the problem is with that is like it has so much potential, man. It's just like it pisses me off, man. Just like
Yeah, it's a new generation of Jedi and Sith. They could completely
they can
they could
they
do
can
anything.
bring up so much past with the prequels,
They
the original
should bring up
trilogy.
the past,
Like they
'cause it's
like all you have to do is just reminisce and just bring up old issues with old people. Like just I'm pretty sure mentioning Dooku or Darth Sidious or just would just bring back some really good vibes.
I like the
But-
reference to Darth Vader, but like with his destroyed mask,
Mhm.
and Kylo Ren being afraid of him or whatnot, something like that, right? Was he afraid of that mask?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought the ending was probably the most lackluster ending I've ever seen. Like I know it's supposed to be like Obi-Wan, no Luke. I said Obi-Wan. Fuck that
Yeah,
dude.
Luke dies. I
Luke,
believe.
yeah, like Luke's he just walks in front of the Nick. Correct me. What are the names of those?
He dies.
Nick.
The
AT
ATM6.
ATM6. So like. He's walking in front of them, man. He's just taking all the shots. I thought
But that was his a projection.
I
though.
was hoping.
Yeah.
I was no.
I was thinking it was actually him.
Yeah,
I
I
was-
thought
But
it
then
was
after
him
like the
too.
whole bombardment and then Kylo like wanting to duel him.
Yeah,
and
I
then
was
the lightsaber
hoping it
goes right
would.
through him.
I was hoping they would duel. I was hoping they would actually fight.
It was a
Like,
projection and Luke dies, which is another stupid just.
oh my
like,
god, they
he
should have
dies
fought,
from
man.
all that
They should have
force
fought,
use.
man. They should have fought. Like, come on, at least end it strong. Nah, he just dies off. Like, bruh. It's just, oh my god, man. And Han Solo's dead. It's just like.
Yeah, he died in Force Awakens.
Yeah, he died in the first one.
I don't know anymore, man.
All the original characters are dying off now.
so
And Leia's probably gonna die off screen in 9, and then Lando's coming back, and then Chewie's still alive, but I don't know how long he's gonna live. Like they're killing everyone from the childhood.
Nick, well, my question is to you: do we know where Episode 9 is headed at all?
I don't know, because Leia was supposed to be alive in that movie, but Carrie Fisher died
Yes.
like just before The Last Jedi came out,
Yeah.
and they had plans, so they had to rewrite it. And so far,
Oh,
at
Lord.
the time of this
Dude,
recording,
that
there's no trailer.
yeah, that can actually screw up a movie production. Honestly, like I know. Now, obviously, this is probably a really bad example, but like you know what they did with the Fast and the Furious, right? I'm not sure this is a really good example, and I'm not sure when his death was. Was it like during filming or it was during filming, wasn't it?
Oh, with Paul Walker
Yeah,
and
Paul
Fast and
Walker.
Furious?
Yeah, Paul Walker.
I don't remember. It may have been. I don't remember.
Like, I'm
honestly.
curious when actors die on set and through production, like, does that, like, they have to go into, like, the CGI? Maybe they're trying to CGI her entire character in. Maybe.
I don't know. What they did. I think what they did with Paul Walker is the next movie they just killed him off screen or something. Like they got rid of him off screen and they
Yeah.
replaced him with his character's cousin.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. But yeah, I don't think they could do that in Star Wars because like I don't know how you would get voice acting and CGI accurately without having the same person. I mean, they did it with Tarkin in Rogue One and Leia at the end of Rogue One, but I don't know.
Man, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I just, you know, Disney's just out here collecting all these companies. Just, oh my god, man, I don't know, man. I just hope that Star Wars ends up just doing good in the future. I don't want to see the series just fail and just, you know, disappear into oblivion. But, I guess we can only wait and find out, right, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are approaching the 25-minute mark, and collectively, all three of us has bitched quite an amount for these three movies. Sal, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Not really. I just hopefully, well, I mean, compared to the prequels, I think the sequels are just the prequels, at least they had other Jedi, and it was there was a war going on and whatnot. Now it's just, I don't know. There's there's no war going on. It's just I feel like it's dragged out. I feel like Star Wars should end. They should just stop altogether. The prequels and the trilogy were beautiful movies.
Is it ever possible George Lucas could come and buy back the rights and then just act like the sequels never happened?
I don't know. I don't know his contract. I know nothing of it.
Yeah.
He would lose a lot of money. He wouldn't be as rich as he is now if he was to do that.
I know. He had like $2.25 million.
How big was that deal? Really?
200. I was like $250 million.
Man, I feel like a little bit more than that, honestly.
Maybe more. Yeah, I don't know. It was around there. I know
Seeing
that.
how much money that Star Wars now has to his name, thanks to EA and their games, I'm pretty sure that
Disney.
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that LucasArts and Star Wars now carries a whole bunch. But oh well.
I know we're 26 or 27 minutes in, but can we talk about the Star Wars story movies?
Oh yeah, I almost completely forgot about those. Yes, Rogue One and Solo. So
Rogue One was amazing.
So personally, I believe Rogue One was actually, it received a lot of good praise for it, but something happened with, I remember Solo. A lot of people didn't like Solo. How come? Now, personally, I'm going to be honest. I haven't actually seen Solo yet in its entirety. I just never got around to it. I never seen Solo or Rogue One. I never got around to it, honestly.
Rogue One's on Netflix. If you should check it out.
I know
Me
it
and Nick
is.
watched it.
But how come? I want to know first. Why does Solo? What happened with Solo? How come it didn't do good?
Do you want a one-word answer, or do you want like a described answer?
I want a described
It wasn't
answer.
explained. The story wasn't explained, I believe.
Well, I'm going to tell you the one word first, and then I'll go into detail like everything else. One word. Kenobi.
Oh,
That's what people wanted. People wanted a Star Wars story for Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi. Because he's been there since the beginning. And they wanted to know, like, what happened after he brought Luke to Tatooine and then hid for, like, 20 years.
Yeah.
Now we get bits of it. We get bits of it in the Rebels cartoon. Like, Darth Maul comes back, he fights him, and he kills Darth Maul while he's an old man. But other than that, like, you don't see much of him. That's why people want him, because he's so influential in the entire story.
Mm-hmm.
And because they didn't get that, it's because they backlashed against Solo. And because The Last Jedi did bad, they figured Solo was going to be bad as well. Well, the Star Wars story movie is not going to be the same as The Last Jedi. It's a filler story. It's a backstory to a character that everyone liked when they were sad to realize that he died in The Force Awakens. It's a filler movie. It's going to be good. Like, I don't know why people backlash about it if it's just going to be a filler.
Oh, so
Makes no sense.
it's not actual criticism for the movie. It's more just fan rioting almost.
Yeah, it was a riot against Disney because they completely botched The Last Jedi, in the words of people. I'm just quoting.
Wow, that's insane. So, what do you think? What are your takes on this?
I really enjoyed Rogue One. I thought everything about Rogue One was amazing. I love the story, the action, like everything about it was just beautiful. And my favorite, I mean, honestly, Darth Vader Like he had my favorite scene in that movie where he just completely went in, you know?
Oh yeah, that was everyone's favorite scene when he
Yeah,
just went in, killed everyone, and he tried to get those plans back.
yeah.
But we
I
all
think
knew
it
it was
was
gonna
just
happen.
yeah, I think it was just a good mix between evil and good, you know? It's what every Star Wars movie should ought to be, you know? Like Rogue One, I think.
Yeah, it was good because we got to see some backstory to the rebels and some of the leaders from the Clone Wars. Bail
Mhm.
Organa,
Mm-hmm.
who was a senator in the Galactic Republic, and it was just when he came out of the shadows near the beginning. I was just in awe when he came out. I was like, "Oh no way! They brought him back!"
Yep.
And it was just like it was just good
And that was
because it's
Rogue One, right?
nostalgia, saying that the times have changed. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was just
remember.
saying like the times have changed. It's a new era. The Galactic Civil War's begun, and this is how it all started. Like it was
Yeah.
just amazing.
Man, I saw that scene on YouTube. I was like, man, that's actually pretty badass. Like, it brought back
Oh
memories. It really did. Like, it just felt so it felt nice, man. It really felt nice looking at that. I'm gonna be honest, but do you think so? Personally, do you think we could get more Star Wars stories by any chance? Like, what do you think the next one would be then?
I mean, people really want Kenobi, and I also heard of a Boba Fett Star Wars story. Whether like, there's two ways they could go with this, right? They can either go after he was eaten by the Sarlacc in Return of the Jedi,
Uh huh.
or they can do after the Clone Wars and after Revenge of the Sith, like with him being, a new bounty hunter and doing stuff, and maybe even working for Jabba alongside with Han Solo, or whatever the case is. Because we still have the solo actor, Alden Ehrenreich, I think, you know, being Han Solo. It's not impossible, but I would like to see more Star Wars movies. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I believe. I honestly, personally, I feel like the best thing they can honestly do is to retouch fans. Is just honestly try to steer away from sequels and do more stories and prequels. Like, they need to like go to everyone's soft side at this point. Like, if you get what I'm trying to say, is like people obviously loved Rogue One for that. I think a lot of people love Rogue One for that one scene alone. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like I think I think that movie did so well just because of that one scene. I believe the reaction across theaters was almost monumentally like people applauded. Like seeing Vader on screen again, it was a real gift to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean he was mad and he, he went in. Showed no remorse.
Hey man,
And he's a character beloved by like everyone.
Yeah.
I believe he's arguably one of the best movie villains of all time.
Agreed.
I believe that's actually debatable. You can actually look that up, most likely. But all right, so now we are approaching the 33-minute mark. So, is there anything else you guys wanted to add?
So,
Um, that's it. I just wanted to touch on Rogue One. That's all.
All right. So then,
it was a good movie, I will agree.
we can only hope that Episode 9 brings some closure to the Star Wars universe, and people
Hmm.
don't like go after Disney and like in pitchforks. God, I really hope, man, they do something nice. Just give us a nice Star Wars lightsaber fights, man. Just do that. But anyway, I guess next week we should probably touch on Halo, where that franchise is going after Halo 5 Guardians was a bust to many people, and the next Halo game actually coming out on the next gen Xbox. And, we could reminisce on Halo 1, I believe ODST,
Halo Wars, Halo 2,
yeah,
Halo, all the Halo
everything
games.
basically. See where the series started declining, this peak, and just because we've all played Halo, and we can probably touch on that and bitch and spread the love for that franchise. But anyway, I am Bowser 0897, and I'll see you guys in the next one.